So it's exam time, and it seemed like a good idea to say a few words about stress, because when there's a lot to do or some very important things to do, it's easy to have an experience of stress. Of course, a little bit of stress isn't a bad thing at all. Stress is one of those things that can help us really put in extra effort and get ourselves motivated to do what needs to be done and to do it really, really well. The problem occurs when we hit that tipping point and stress starts to become overwhelming, and then we tend to use more of our energy attending to the fact that we're feeling overwhelmed than actually doing the task that is causing the stress in the first place, and that can actually become unhelpful or destructive. So what do you do if you're experiencing so much stress that you're starting to feel overwhelmed by it, and you're using your energy just to cope with every day rather than to attend to the things that are making you feel stressed? And one strategy, or one thing that might be helpful if you can manage it, is to actually get a bit of perspective on what's going on here. See, it's really easy when we're faced with a task that seems very, very important to us to feel like that is the biggest thing in the world to us. And that's what makes it intimidating to us. But if we get perspective and understand that this is, just part of life, then things can start to come down to a more manageable size. Because no matter what you're facing as you do your exams and assessments at the end of this year, these won't be the most important things you ever do in your life. In the grand scheme of things, as you get a sense of what the totality of life is about, you realize, it's important. Exams are important, assessments are important, but they're not the biggest thing you'll ever face. They're not the most important thing you'll ever face, and that can be a helpful perspective so that you don't get overwhelmed by what's going on at the moment. Some people need more stress in their life. They're not being activated to put in the energy and activity that they should be doing, and they need to realize that putting in a bit of effort each day and each experience of life is a really helpful accumulative thing, like a compound interest might be if you're trying to save money. The more you do early, the better off you are. But to hold things in their broadest context, I think, is the most helpful way to not be debilitated by stress. In a funny kind of way, I think that's one of the advantages of being a person of faith. Everything in life is held in a broad context of a very large story, and we can see ourselves and find ourselves in that large story. And that's a pretty helpful way to get through life as well. So, thinking of you all as you go through this time, I will be saying a prayer for you, even though I don't know all of you personally. I know it's a stressful time, and I pray that God will be with you, that you can really apply yourselves to your exams and your assessments and get the best outcome you can for this year. God bless. Do well.